Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm in the studio, so you know what that means. It means it's live, so get involved in the comments and the chat and let us know what you think about all the latest Manchester United stories, which I'll be getting into now. Don't forget as well to hit that like button, give us a like, and if you're not doing, subscribe to the channel as well. We've got quite a few stories to get through, mainly focusing on outgoings. Normally we're looking at players coming in, but most of the stories this morning centre around players that Ralph Ragnick could be getting rid of either in January or in the summer, either permanent move or loan moves. There's quite a lot of, not comings and goings, more goings, to be honest with you. So I will get into all that. There's also as well, I want to start with a quick Marcus Rashford story. Spoke about Marcus Rashford a lot yesterday, so I don't want to sort of dwell on it, but there are a few stories doing the rounds. There's an interesting piece in The Athletic by Laurie Whitwell and Carl Anker, two journalists who we've had on this channel a few times as well, good guys. They're talking about Rashford's problems, obviously his struggles with form, and the fact that he's working on it, in training. Apparently a few ex-players have reached out to him. They're saying that after the Euros when he missed his penalty, the likes of Alan Shearer, David Beckham and Paul Ince contacted him, and he's been sort of dedicating himself in training, and he's aware of his struggles this season. You know, he knows he needs to up his game. And he's working on it. He's working on it in training. Ralph Ragnick's working with him. And despite interest, it says here in the article, despite interest from Barcelona and Juve, he's dedicated to United. He's always been dedicated to United, and he wants to get it right. And we know all that. We know that Ralph Ragnick spoke about him after the game, so I don't want to dwell on it too much. But that is a story doing the rounds this morning, that Rashford, who has become a massive talking point lately, and because of his struggles, that's something he's working on. In terms of transfers, we'll get into them. Outgoings. Well, it's all pretty much all outgoings today, to be honest with you. Big story doing the rounds last night was about Eric Bailly. I think it was, well, several news outlets mentioned it. Romano, I think, tweeted about it as well. It seems that AC Milan are looking to sign a new centre-back, and Eric Bailly is one of the names on the list. Romano said, first approach is started for United player, nothing advanced yet. Now, this story has been picked up or has been covered by a few different papers, and it seems like the talks are ongoing is the latest update that we've seen, that United, Milan are keen on him, United are sort of open to him in moving on, and that Milan and Manchester United are having talks. And this came from originally, I think, from Di Marzio. Do you remember when Di Marzio was like the main man? Then Romano sort of came in, didn't he? Sort of stole all his thunder. Do you know what I mean? It's like Love Island and Big Brother, innit? Anyway, Di Marzio says that Bailly is agreed to join Milan, and discussions are now taking place with United over a January loan move with a potential option to buy at the end of the season. Now, the thing with Eric Bailly is we all love Eric Bailly, don't we? I do anyway. He's box office. He's good player. Sort of, he's the type of player you can get behind. He flies into tackles, flies into challenges. Good on the ball as well. A little bit crazy, very entertaining, and he has put in some very good performances for Manchester United. The problem we've got with Eric Bailly isn't the fact that he's not, whether he's good enough or not. It's just the fact that he's not always available. The best ability is availability, as Ronaldo Brown once said. Probably got it from somewhere else, but he said it. And he misses big chunks of the season. We had it last season where he played, I think, 5 or 6 games, did really well, and then gets an injury again. And that always happens. That seems to happen week in, week out, season in, season out. If we could have Eric Bailly playing every week, I think he'd be a starter. I think he would. I think he's good enough to start for Manchester United. I think you could have a partnership with maybe him and Varane. I just don't think it's ever going to happen, because I don't think you're ever going to be in a position where you can rely on Eric Bailly. You can say to Eric Bailly, okay, yeah, you're my main man. And he's going to give it to you. He's going to give you the sort of the 50 games you need from a player over the course of a season, when you count in the Champions League and the Cups and the Premier League. I think if you just have a quick look, actually, at Eric Bailly's sort of appearance record, it's not terrible since he's been at Manchester United, but it's not great. You know, if you look at the last sort of few seasons, last season he made 21 appearances in total. Actually, it looks pretty grim, actually. The season before, 11 in total. The season before that, 18 in total. The season before that, 18 in total. The most appearances ever made in his first season, which was 25 in the league, and 38 in total. Even that's not amazing. You missed a third of the games in the league. So we've never really been able to see Eric Bailly consistently playing for Manchester United. I think he only reached the 100-game mark. I think it was last season. I think Harry Maguire might have even beat him to it, 100 games for Manchester United. And Harry Maguire joined 3 seasons after he did. So that's the issue with Eric Bailly. I don't see it getting any better. I don't see him suddenly becoming a player who's going to play week in, week out. So a move is probably best all round. Hit that like button. Give us a like. I think there's nearly 400 people watching, 32 likes. Let's get to 100 likes at least. So hit that like button if you are watching. Let us know what you think about Eric Bailly. Seems to be a popular player amongst a lot of Manchester United fans. Are you sad to see him go? If he does go, do you think United should keep him? Do you think he could be useful as a squad player? Is he a player that you can just bring in now and again? How do you weigh it up when it comes to Eric Bailly? Let us know what you think. Santa Notch says, Bailly first indicated he's wanted to leave quite a while ago, to be fair. He did. We heard that, didn't we? I think it was last season where he was a little bit unhappy. Gurpal Singh says, Dinya to Villa, UTV, I presume that means up the Villa, U's are getting ripped on Saturday. Big words there. He's even put them in capitals, so we'll see how that one happens. I don't know if Lucas Digne is going to be the answer. Geordie Red says he don't like my introduction. He finds it tedious because I say the same introduction all the time. Sorry, bro, but I'm sticking with it. Dennis Mahoney, says Rashford hasn't been supported or isn't being supported behind the scenes by the coaches. It's been said the coaching under Ole now, Ralph, suggests they are not good. Yep, Marcus Rashford goes on and on and on. Chris Struther says, want to see one last Spinneroonie before Bailly goes. He loves that little turn. Have you ever seen that Twitter account, out of context, Eric Bailly? It's hilarious, and every time he plays, there's at least another 3 or 4 clips that they've got as content for there, because he just seems to do something a little bit wacky all the time, and a lot of it's effective. Like, you know, when you see him like the one where he clears the ball with his back and things like that, and tries scissor kicks, a lot of it actually works. It's just them injuries, man. He just never gets a proper run in the team, and you can't fully rely on him. Tom Greenwell says, sad to see him go, but we need to have the same mentality across the whole squad. If players are unhappy, then we need to move them on. Yep, I think I think you're right there. I think if they want to go and they can't rely on him, then it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it, really? I mean, listen, we like Eric Bailly, and he's a good player, but he's not always available. Another player that could be moving out on loan is Diallo. I think there's been a little talk of Amad Diallo going out for a little while now. There was talk of him going perhaps to Derby County. Apparently were interested in him. Also Barnsley, I think, are looking, and Birmingham as well. Birmingham obviously took Heath Chong on loan. Derby have got Wayne Rooney there. I think Wayne Rooney was looking maybe to use his Manchester United connections to try and get a move for Amad Diallo. It's one to keep an eye on. I think he's going to struggle perhaps with games this season because Anthony Elanga seems to be sort of on the peripheries. I think he's impressed in training. We saw him come on the other night against Aston Villa. You've also got other options who can play out wide as well in the same position, a similar position to Diallo, whether that is the likes of, I know, Marcus Rashford can obviously play there as well, Jadon Sancho. So he might find his opportunities limited. He was going to go to Feyenoord, I think, in the summer until he got an injury. So now it looks like he could be getting a move to the Championship. It'd be a good move for him for that. I think he's not played a lot of football in his professional career. When we bought him from Atalanta, I think he played about 80 minutes or something like that in total. So he needs game time. He's impressed when he's played for Manchester United. He had a few games, didn't he, for us back end of last season. He just needs to get some regular football, see what he's made of, get him used to the rigours of English football as well. And the Championship's the perfect forum or perfect platform to do that. So he could be going to a host of Championship clubs interested in him. We'll wait and see what happens with that one. Another one who could be on the way out as well. There's loads on the way out. I'll try and move through them swiftly. It's Dean Henderson. Not immediately, though, because it says here, I think the Daily Mail said that this was doing the rounds, I think, around yesterday, and it's been picked up again. United have rejected Dean Henderson's request to leave in January. Also, though, Jesse Lingard. There's talk of Jesse Lingard going. It looks like, obviously, he's going to stay. I say obviously, but it looks like he's going to stay in January. And now the latest is that Spurs could be in for him in the summer on a free. So it says on ESPN, Tottenham Hotspur are interested in signing Jesse Lingard on a free transfer from Manchester United in the summer. Sources have told ESPN's Rob Dawson and James Ollie. Lingard will be out of contract in June, and Tottenham are amongst a host of clubs who are keen to sign the 29-year-old international. Does anyone Is anyone, I don't think anyone cares. Is anyone too disappointed in that? Do you think we should try and keep Jesse Lingard, or do you think it is time for him to move on? Fighter Kabir says, bringing in Tenen Mengi is worth considering how we lack leadership in the centre-back position, and he looks really confident and self-assured. Absolutely. Nick Albany says, from missing one CDM to compete for the league at the start of the season to a massive clear-out 4 months later, what a dressing... sorry, I can't see the rest of that super chat. Bear with me 1 minute. 4 months later, with a divided dressing room, that escalated quickly. Zachary Purvis says, anyone else notice that we are seeing all the vibes type characters linked with moves out? Like CR7 came in and said these lot aren't professional enough. Potentially, I think almost everyone felt like a bit of a vibe type character at one point or all. It was good vibes towards it, sort of this time last season when we were top of the league. I think when we were around Christmas or around New Year, everything seemed a little bit positive. And now, the Europa League final was such a sort of watermark moment, wasn't it? Losing that, I just don't think we ever fully recovered. And this season, bringing in Ronaldo gave us all a big lift, but since then, it's not been great, has it? We've had a couple of, a few good results. The Leeds game, and that was before Ronnie, of course, but like the Newcastle game and the West Ham game. But by and large, they've been few and far between, and you just need United to kick on. I don't think the Villa game is going to be the type of performance where you go, this is it, our season's underway now, but at least we're in that competition. We're still in the Champions League as well. I'm hoping the Champions League could offer us a little bit of a salvation, shall we say. Tim Neely says, Jay, sound a bit sick. You got the spicy cough. I've got a little bit of a good old-fashioned cold. Don't worry, I've done all the tests and everything. I've not got the dreaded C word. Just a little bit of a cold. I'm going to wrap up there. Thanks for everyone who's got involved in the comments. Let us know if you've got anything else to say. Get involved in the chat. Don't forget as well to check out the other videos on the channel. Joe's going to be on later on, or I think we're going to be me, Joe, and Housen on later on this afternoon for the Paddock podcast. Joe's also going to be looking at our midfield as well. Looking at Fred. But Fred have sort of had a bit of a mixed bag, haven't they, under Ralph Ragnick? You look at Fred, he scored the winner against Crystal Palace. McTominay scored a couple of goals as well. Yet they've had performances where there's been question marks as well. So he's going to be doing a little bit of analysis over them. There you go, got that in the end. He's going to do a bit of analysis on those two players and whether they've got a bright future under Ralph Ragnick, whether they can work in his system, whether they are working in his system, or whether we need to look at something else. Abby J, this has been Stretford Paddock Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.